Since everything I wanted to do for this episode ended up taking way too much time, I decided to take another shot at voiceover. I'm bad at it, but if I try to keep in all the voice clips, this episode would be 40 plus minutes long, so let's speedrun this playthrough. I spawned into the world and started exploring. First the amazing shipwreck where I found one singular bamboo. Then I went adventuring to find the very necessary and elusive moss block. And I brought the cat with me. I was rudely interrupted by some trident-throwing locals, I'll remember that, and I quickly checked up on the abandoned village near my starter base where the only trapped villager was a child. Villager importing it is. Then I continued my search for the moss block, but not before killing my very first glow squid. I found the moss block, mission success. On my way back, I captured the cutest predator and killed another 2 glow squids. I decided to use the shipwreck for storage and make it my temporary starter house. Then I collected some wood and saplings and mushrooms and flowers and wheat seeds before I started mining. And like any intelligent Minecraft player, I dug straight down. Eventually, I'll make this a water elevator, but for now, this'll do. With my luck, my very first mine cut through several layers of mineshaft, which I ignored because I'd set the world to hard mode and currently would have died with 69 levels. Usually I start off my diamond strip mines with a 3x3 hallway, but I've never liked those, and honestly, this ended up being so much better. As per usual, I dug in one straight line until I hit diamonds. I found 6, got some obsidian, and realized I didn't have any lapis. After making my asymmetric enchanting area, I found some lapis and some more diamonds, then almost died in lava. Then finally enchanted my first diamond pickaxe and got Silk Touch, which is a great starting enchantment, but I decided to try my luck for another, at least efficiency 4 enchantment. And I got Fortune 3. Anyway, I did some more grinding, almost got killed by a cave spider while innocently mining some more diamonds. Then came back to the surface with a good amount of stuff, a new Enderman friend, and 17 diamonds, which I used to make some decently enchanted armor and tools. Now that I had some decent enchantments, I decided to go check out those mineshafts. It was a pretty uneventful grind session aside from all of the cave spider spawners. Why are there so many? I found some glowberries and a zombie spawner, which was nice, and I marked off the location of the zombie spawner, which happened to be really close to my shipwreck. I named the cat Lucky and almost named the Enderman, but didn't want to waste a name tag on someone I was planning to kill once I got looting 3. I'm a good person. I spent too much time clearing out the grass, I almost said trash, because I hate grass, and trees to make space for my soon-to-be farms. I decided the theme for this playthrough's builds were going to be snow globes, without the snow. Maybe round terrariums is a better description, whatever. You'll see. This is my experimental circle farm, and this is my starter wheat farm. I'll make one for each of the other vegetables later, but for now, this is all I need. Then I built an animal farm and herded in some animals, which was hard to do since I'd killed all the sheep and cows in the area in my last episode. Then I did a little breeding and called it a day. Now it was time for what became the most annoying experience of the playthrough for me, villager trading. Getting the villagers was easy enough. I just moved them in the most scuffed way possible using all the rails I'd scavenged from the mine shafts. Then I dug a little scuffed cave for them as shelter. I took a break from that and found this completely buried desert temple and got the perfect supplies for treating zombie villagers. Then I made a scuffed villager zombification system. Early game builds are really worthwhile. I found another axolotl and the scuff system worked. And I converted the villagers without any complications. And this is where things got annoying. I've never had issues getting villagers to gain professions before, but they just were not having it. I got a weird system working where when I broke one villager's table, the other would change his trades, and finally got mending for 1 emerald, and immediately bought a bunch of those. The system, unfortunately, no longer worked, so I gave up on the other villager. God, just watching the footage back made me tired. I added mending to all my stuff and had a full set of diamond armor. Then I placed the axolotls into a safe pond where they couldn't escape. Then spent some time breeding the animals and breaking ores. Look at how rich I am. I went back to the Nether for some resources, and at some point I was surrounded by ghasts and finally got this achievement. Then got this achievement after getting a little very lost. Then I got my first wither skeleton skull. I finally got tired of being lost and painstakingly dug and bridged my way back. I tried to work the villager trading to no avail. To cool down, I did some off-camera tree farming and animal breeding, and decorated the inside of the villager's hall with my limited resources. Since I was still having trouble getting the trades going, I decided to start breeding the no-good varmints. You can't see it, but there is a child getting crushed between a minecart and a stone wall. Did they get smaller, by the way? This time, I also wanted to go back to the end, so I gathered some emergency supplies and set off, taking the way back to the portal from memory. I never learn. On the way back, On the way there, I found a beehive and waited for the total bee location. I discovered that cats stayed lounging on the bed even when you're not sleeping, which makes it so hard to want to break the bed. But I persisted. I got myself a mediocre horse and got to the portal without any trouble. No worries though. I redeemed myself by getting lost on the way back. I made sure to set a respawn point this time. I immediately started gathering pearls since trading for pearls wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Then I bridged up to the whatever this thing is called. End beacon? Portal beacon? End portal fragment? If it's not, it should be. First try. And I spawned in an island nowhere near a city. This is what happens when I'm away from Lucky for too long. I finally found one, but it was the useless kind. I got some shulkers though, which is half of the reason I came here. I hate gathering supplies without shulker boxes. It's a miserable experience. Speaking of miserable experiences, 3 shulkers teleported outside of the building almost immediately and started harassing me. Got him. Then I finally got to go in and practice some parkour and floating techniques. I destroyed the top of the build both for some building blocks and to mark that I've been here before to my future self. While breaking the banners, I accidentally looked at 2 endermen and they proceeded to harass me. And as soon as I left, I spotted another city build in the distance. The second structure also had no ship, but the one behind it did. I didn't feel like going the long way like I usually did and towered through the floor. Well, that was easy. For once, I remembered the dragon head. I got hit while throwing an end pearl, missed my mark, and got this achievement by accident. I'll take it. Then I got hit from this distance. How are homing arrows cheating if this is something Minecraft mobs can do? I finally found another end portal fragment and gathered some more pearls before portaling back. I made another portal in the end fortress for quicker access, but couldn't even use it since my cat and horse were waiting for me up top. Although this is the portal location, so I didn't feel too bad about that. After horsing around like a headless chicken, I finally got back home and made things a little more hospitable for my bees. And one popped out at nightfall like a little fuzzy idiot. While I was staring my Enderman friend goodbye, I saw one of the bees try to make a run for it. Oh, we're safe. For now. And we come back to some sad news. While I was off camera grinding, a golem appeared and murdered our friendly neighborhood bow enderman, who I named Tricky post-mortem. Yes, I was planning to kill it once I got looting 3, because I'm a good person, but I missed it now that it was gone. Anyway, I made Tricky this sign and the block it dropped when it died. Then went back to exploring the mineshaft. How are there so many spider spawners? Once I got through all of that mess, I finally found an amethyst geode. Of course, it was crawling with creepers, and less destructive mobs, but I am a Minecraft expert, and I got them away from it with minimum damage. Then I proceeded to deconstruct the amethyst, layer by layer. This is what a geode looks like without the amethyst layer. This is what it looks like without calcite. And this is what I left behind because I got bored of mining. Look at all of these spider spawners. Dear God, another one. I don't even want to know what's going on here. This is what the farm looks like at night. The rest is less impressive. My first in-game phantom appeared, but the sun killed it before I could. Next day, I got back to the grind and got interrupted by a traveler with an interesting trade. There goes all my money. Die. And after a short trip into the Nether, another one appeared. Up there. I ignored it. I also noticed that all but one of my bees had died. Question mark? And the last was trying to make a run for it again. In the middle of trying to make my god sword, I got smite again. I think this is the third time, and just accepted my fate of the smite curse. It'll only be lifted once those dumb traders finally get to work and pay their dues. But I got pretty close with this sword. So close, yet so far. The next day, I started a chorus fruit farm, or purper farm, and I finally used the Elytra for the most important and necessary job of all, getting another beehive. And the bloodline lives on. I cover the campfire with trapdoors in case that's where I was going wrong. The trader's still hanging around. Badum-psh. Then back to grinding and more spider spawners. My first build plan is a little very excessive, and copper ore isn't as easy to find as you might think. And finally, I had half of the stuff I needed for my first build. Anyway, I continued grinding, found even more spider spawners, how? And found no copper ore until I reached this ocean ravine, where I added another axolotl to my collection and interrupted another creeper party. And finally got all the stuff I needed to start my build, which I'm starting next episode.